on YouTube. Do I need to do anything here on YouTube? All right, there we go. I think we're live on YouTube. Okay, great. And I will go ahead and get started here in TikTok in about 1 minute.
Wow, did you see that? That's what you call precision.
All right, let's do it. Welcome, everyone. We'll be getting started momentarily. Just waiting for a few more folks to show up. Welcome, Yandy. Welcome, Craig Page. Welcome, Nikki the Sniper. Booze Ozzy. It's funny, screen names. We will get started as soon as I have a few more folks show up that we normally do. Just give them welcome, Rico. Welcome, JMS. Got a lot to cover today. Oh, welcome, Samba Barbie. Wow. Samba Barbie's in the house. Awesome. Beauty, beauty, absolute beauty. Joey's Pizza, welcome. We will get started in just a moment, guys. Just waiting for a few more folks to land. Mustafa, welcome. Moda, David, Unwritten, welcome. Idzig, welcome everyone. And Mancho, Daniela, welcome. I think we've almost got about enough people here to go ahead and launch the stream. Welcome, Silent Noise. And we'll be getting started in just about a minute. Well, you know what? I think we're almost there. Maybe one or two more people, and then we'll get started right away. Good afternoon. It's been a fantastic day in the market today, guys. A lot of action. We're going to cover some really good ground today. Going over what we do best. Showcasing the NASDAQ 100 futures today. It'll be on a 2-minute time frame. Alrighty, I think we've got about enough people here, so let me go ahead and hit the record button. We'll make this available on our YouTube channel as well as our Discord channel, and we will kick this bad boy off right now, guys. Fantastic. Hey, welcome back, everyone. My name is Chris, and I am the Algo Trader here on TikTok, and today was a textbook elephant hunting day, guys. Absolute textbook. And if you've been with us through the last few sessions, you already know what to look for, okay? And this was absolute fun. And this morning was no different. And if you missed it, let me break it down so you never miss it again. So pay very close attention to this, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So we always start every morning zooming in on the last 30 minutes of the prior session. And last night, okay, it whispered the whole playbook right here with this bad boy. This is Predictmo. This is our machine learning algorithm, okay? Predictmo's line is shot above 0 into the close right there. And let me tell you something interesting about this. That's 2 days in a row that we've had the exact same DNA heading into the open. A predictive thrust upward before the bell. And what did this mean right here? This little predictive thrust that you see right here with the predictor going up. It meant that you had no excuse to be caught off guard today. We told you, the next morning's move always lives in the prior day final candles. So when the bell rung this morning, you already knew what to do, guys. 9:30, the market roared to the upside. No hesitation, no fake out, just pure vertical aggression. That's an elephant charge. And we had our rifles loaded. Predicmo led the way. Simul confirmed the early cycle acceleration and also confirmed the early onset of a trend. And it let us ride that heat up with confidence, guys, okay? This was your morning money. And if you fumbled it, you weren't using the right tools. And by around 10:20 a.m., the entire tone changed. Momentum sunk below the threshold on Simo, and that was our signal, right? We flipped straight to the trend chart for early onset of trend confirmation. And sure enough, confirmation locked in. That was our cue. We shifted bias, sized accordingly, and took the downside trade for the second half of the morning. One move up, one move down, zero guesswork. And we're going to see exactly how this all played out right here as I put this bad boy back in recap mode at 10 times the speed of the market. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started, guys. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. And boom, that's the first bar of the open in today's session right there. Look at that monster bar. Went all the way, hit the 80 bar VWAP right there. You had cycle going up. You had your predictor going up as well right there. One of the things that's really important to notice, guys, notice how the market was cycling towards the close right there. Cycle right here. You see the perfect sine wave formation. You had another cycle going into the morning open right here. Okay. Now, if momentum goes above the threshold, we already know what to do. Okay. And what we do is we pause and we see whether or not this is the early onset of a trend. Okay. Now, it hasn't gone up yet. And price is kind of like stalling right there at that 80 bar VWAP, but right there it did. So if we do that and we see that price went above the threshold, we want to confirm whether this is the early onset of a trend. Not only that, because we have a second rotation to the upside here with the predictor. Notice how the predictor perfectly caught the morning rip to the upside before it even happens, several bars in advance, okay? The predictor typically gives you a 2-bar advance warning of what's going to come before it even happens, okay? That's what the power of machine learning is all about. But the moment you see momentum rise above the 0.90 threshold, you want to pause. And the first question you want to ask yourself is this the early onset of a trend, okay? So if we want to confirm if that's the early onset of a trend, what do? We look towards our trend chart, and this is our trend chart. And this chart right here, guys, is tuned specifically to only capture the trend component of price. And what's our verification process to this? We have a threefold verification process right here. Is cycle above zero? Yes. Is momentum above zero? Absolutely it is, okay? How about Pirmo? Pirmo is completely shifted to the upside right here. This is our trend detection tool right here. Momentum shifted to the upside and completely just shot up right here. How about scalp mode? Do we have confirmation that that's broken above the 0.43 threshold? We do right here. A, B, C. This is trend mode right here at its best, okay? Absolute trend mode right there. And if it's trend mode, guys, you absolutely want to take that to the long side and ride that bad boy out. So we will go ahead and do that and see where that rolls. Now, you can go ahead and ride this bad boy all the way until this purple line dips below this threshold and capture that component of the trend move. Likewise, if you're looking at your cycle chart right here, you're going to notice that you just commenced cycle number 1. Cycle number 1 commenced right here the moment the cyan line went above zero, okay? And right here, we've got the commencement of cycle number 2. Remember, guys, I've told you time and again, and I know I sound like a broken record sometimes, that you typically get 2 cycle rotations before the cycle fizzles out. And if cycles precede trends, you better watch the cycle rotation to kind of mark the end of the trend, okay? So if you've got cycle number 1 here, and this is the early outset of a trend and you've got the commencement of cycle number 2 right here, you better be watching this bad boy come down right here if you're only keeping tabs on the cycle chart, okay? But we're also keeping tabs over on the momentum chart, so we'll go ahead and flip that back. The moment that this cycle component crosses below 0, that is it for the trend, guys. In fact, you already had the predictor cross below 0. That would be your exit signal right there. Now let's see how this all shook out here on the trend chart. If you were only looking at the trend component of price, guys, and you were looking to get out when this bad boy sunk, it would have been right here. I would say right around this bar. Let me go ahead and plot that arrow right around this bar right there. Okay, so nice little run. It would have caught the clip really well. And you also had the cycle that ended over here too, which is almost consistent with the end of the second cycle rotation in the cycle chart. End of move. There's nothing else, guys, okay?
Wow, did you see that? That's what you call precision.
So now that we know that we're almost back in cycle territory right here, but we're still outside of the zone, okay? You're clearly still in a trend pull to the upside. Price is outside of the VWAP. I mean, really trending strong, okay? You just had the end of cycle number 2 right there, okay? The end. So if that's the case, okay, and if we look here at your trend chart, and your trend chart is kind of fizzling out right there, let me just go ahead and run it here because this whole thing really ends up fizzling out the moment that the purple line hits the region Y threshold right here, okay? That's when your whole move kind of lands right there. You've got acceleration, you've got exhaustion, and you've got contraction right there. Perfect 1, 2, 3 step to get you in and out of your trades, okay? So this is pretty much the complete end of the whole momentum move to the upside, if you would, right there where I just plotted the arrow. So if we know that, we're going to go back to our cycle chart to see exactly where the next rotation is possibly going to occur. And we know that cycles typically follow trends and cycles precede trends as well. So you got to keep that in mind, guys, when you're trading the NASDAQ 100 and using these instruments. Got another little cyclic rotation right here. This kind of looks like a pivot trade to me, if anything. And I don't like pivot trades because they end up being very short-lived. And this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. This is a pivot trade right there. Yep, predictors below the 0 line. And I've got a nice little treat for you I'm going to share with you at the end of this stream that I think will really arouse your interest. So stick around to the end. I've got something really cool that I definitely want to showcase and share with you guys, okay? So here we go. We got a little pivot trade, which is a cycle trade to the upside. You got another cycle right here. You're inside the 15-bar VWAP. We know that the 15-bar VWAP is chop zone. This is where traders are going to go and lose money right here. So keep an eye on that 15-bar VWAP. And we're doing the elephant hunting thing today, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to look to see trend confirmation on the second opportunity for the second rotation. So here we go, okay? We'll just let this bad boy bounce. This definitely calls for a little bit of patience because if price is inside the 15-bar VWAP, you sort of want to sit in your hands until it breaks out of there. And I hope you guys had as good a luck as I did capturing that move to the upside this morning. Let's see if you guys had better luck capturing the downside move today. Okay, we just had a breakout here from the 15-bar VWAP, and we've got momentum falling along with cycle right here as well. Still hasn't sunk below the threshold, so we can't confirm whether this is the early onset of a trend, but now we can right here, okay? Next bar down, boom, right there. We stop, we pause, we ask, is this the early onset of a trend? Remember, this is your cycle chart right here, guys, okay? The tunings you have on this chart are only designed to capture the cyclic nature of price. If you finally see momentum sink below the threshold, you got to go into the next process, which is confirm whether or not this is the early onset of a trend. We flip over to our trend chart right here. This chart is specifically designed, okay, to capture the trend component of price. And what do we see right here, guys? Confirmation number one. Is cycle below zero? Absolutely, it's below zero at this bar. Is momentum below zero? It sure is. And how about pure mode down here? Has pure mode broken out? Well, it's right here at the cusp. It's about to break out. How about scalp mode? Scalp mode absolutely broke out to the downside. So guys, yes, A, B, C, they're consistent. That means that this is the early onset of a trend. And if that's the early onset of a trend, I want to take a short trade. Okay, so we'll go ahead and see how that plays out. This whole process here, guys, it's really methodical. It's not subjective. It's rules-based. This is real algorithmic trading at its best. And we will just let this bad boy play out. Now look at this. It's about to hit our 15-bar VWAP right there. And look what just happened right here, guys. Bingo. You just had confirmation for the trend right there. Now, here's something very important that I want to illustrate. And if there's any portion of this segment that you guys should be remembering or ought to remember, okay, it's what I'm about to say next right now, which is absolutely going to blow your mind. Okay, let me just go ahead and pause it real quick because this is so important for you guys to see, okay? I'm flipping it back to the cycle chart right here, all right? This trade's already up about over $4,000, okay? So if I pause it, we're going to notice that momentum in the cycle chart sunk at about 10:22 in the morning, okay? So let me go ahead and get my crosshairs to confirm the time. Yes, right here. This was at about the 1024 bar. That's where we saw it right there, okay? So remember, the 1024 bar. Now, if I go over here, if I flip back over to my trend chart and I look at where the 1024 bar was, which is right smack right here where we flipped over and started our confirmation process to determine if what we saw on the cycle chart was the early onset of a trend. 1024 bar. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. About 3 bars in advance, guys, before you actually got confirmation on the trend chart that, yes, in fact, this is a trend right here. So, in other words, by using the first step in confirming the early onset of a trend on your cycle chart, you actually were able to capture the early onset of a trend here on the trend chart at the 1024 bar before you actually got full confirmation that you were actually in a trend. I don't know about you guys, but I love getting a runway on my trades, okay? It gives me a better margin of safety when I execute my trades, and let's see how this whole bad boy plays out right here. But that's the process that you follow. And by the way, in case you're wondering, I've got a whole series on hunting elephants over on our YouTube channel under that playlist called Hunting Elephants that walks you through this exact process, okay? Now, price just hit this 80-bar VWAP right here. Remember, there's only 2 possible outcomes when it hits the 80-bar VWAP. It either breaks or it bounces. Now, at this juncture right here, it looks like it's stalling right now. What's the only thing that would keep you in this trade right here to give you the confidence and conviction to hold on to the trade and let the whole thing play out? Okay? What's the one thing that would give you the confidence to hold on? If you have 3 different indicators on your chart, you actually have 4, including the set here with the VWAP, okay? What would give you the confidence to hold on to this trade until it ends? Okay, just drop it in the comment box. Simo, Okay, that's a good guess right there. Van City Bob, cool. Remember, once you go into trend mode, guys, your execution tool is gonna be, that's right, that's absolutely right, Miles, Pure Mode. Pure Mode is your execution tool. This bad boy right here is gonna tell you when to get in and when to get out right here. You're gonna confirm here, you're gonna confirm right here, but this bad boy, Pure Mode, is gonna be the one that's gonna tell you when to get out. Now we got pretty close here to the 0.20 threshold, but it didn't touch it, okay? And if it didn't touch it, this bad boy is going to continue rolling down. So, you know, it's still rolling down, and until it actually crosses in or touches it, then I'm not going to get out of this trade, and this trade would have been up a little bit over $5,000 already. So, not a bad move to the downside. So we'll go ahead and watch it until Pure Mode hits the 0.20 threshold. Yes, and you can actually count your cycles too. That's right. That's right, Silent Noise. So there you go. You've got cycle 1 right there, and you've got the beginning of cycle 2 right there, and you've got what appears to be the ending of cycle 2 right there. And if you've only got 2 cycles, oh, there it goes, guys. Bingo.
Order filled.
That is it right there. Just hit the threshold. You had cycle 2, and that is it. Okay? There is nothing else left to that trade, and that's how you hunt an elephant in these type of markets, all right? And this, by the way, guys, is exactly the type of discipline that you need when you trade, especially in the NASDAQ 100 futures, okay? Today, I'll tell you, was all about tools. It was a tools day, all of them. Predict mode to forecast the open, Psi mode to navigate the cycles, Pure mode to maximize the trend run, you know, and the trend chart, obviously this bad boy right here to confirm continuation. It was like watching a symphony, everything in sync. And if you've been trading solo, you're just winging it with lines and lagging indicators. You probably watched this move happen from the sidelines. Today was the difference, guys, between random hope and systematic confidence. So look at what happened. Okay, you nailed the bottom of this nice move right there. Price rolled back inside the VWAP, turned orange, and that gives you your clue that you are back in cycle territory right there, guys, to capture that swing in price. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring the cycle chart right here so you can see it, okay? Back in cycle mode right there. But here's something that I want to bring to your attention. You know what? Let me just stop it there for a quick sec, because I think I've got a few questions, okay? And I promised you, by the way, I was going to show you something really cool towards the end. And I'm going to show it to you right now in just a sec. Let me just look at some of these questions. Silent Noise says, count the cycles. Absolutely, count the cycles. That'll give you a very good, refined view. In fact, the end of cycle 2 in the trend chart really marked the dead bottom of this move right there. I actually waited until I got confirmation with Pure Mode when it hit the bottom of the 0.20 threshold, and that was it. Yeah, but your thought process is right on, Silent Noise, for sure. How can we get these set up? Oh, you know what? I've got setup videos on how to set up these charts exactly the way I've got them right here, and they're part of the onboarding process. Once you sign up, you'll get the you'll get links to the videos on how to set them up step by step, exactly the way I have them right here. And we got a ton of videos over on YouTube as well that kind of walk you through the process. Now, here's something important. I walked you through the process of how to hunt elephants. We nailed 2 enormous trades this morning, but I'm going to show you something that's absolutely going to blow your socks off right now. And I think you're really going to take appreciation to this, okay? And this is really important for you guys to see, okay? So we went over the cycle chart, which is this bad boy right here. We call it a cycle chart because the tunings that you have for SIMO, which is a tool designed to capture market structure, are designed to only capture the cyclic swings in price, okay? Predict mode is designed to capture more of the cyclic component in price on days that are cycling. Now, this tool right here was not designed to capture the momentum component in price, okay? That's the reason we developed Pure Mode. Pure Mode is, you know, it's an acronym for pure momentum, And pure momentum basically is designed to capture the momentum swing in price, which means these swings right here to the upside and all the way to the downside, the way you see right here, okay? And look at how this bad boy works, okay? It goes all the way up, and it isn't until it hits this threshold right here that it kind of fizzles out right there. And then it goes horizontal. And anytime it goes horizontal, it's telling you that there is no momentum in any of these trades. So imagine you've got a tool in your arsenal. Imagine this. If you had this tool in your arsenal, it's telling you it's going sideways. You're not going to trade any of this noise right here in the morning, because you know that the moment that PureMo starts going horizontal, that this is nothing but noise right there. So it helps you stay out of a lot of bad situations and a lot of trades that actually take back what you just made in this upside rip. Then you've got the downside rip here. That began over here all the way down until it touched right there. Very nice trade to the downside. Spooky Man, this is all manual. This is all discretionary. For discretion, designed specifically for discretionary traders. Now, I promise you guys I'll show you something cool. So let me go ahead and show it to you right now. Let me go ahead and bring this bad boy into the picture right here. Okay, now here's Predicmo, guys. This is our machine learning algorithm right here, okay? And look at how it nailed these trades to the downside with absolute precision. Just follow this right here, okay? Pop to the upside, went all the way right there. And the moment that it actually crossed below the zero line, which would have been at this bar, you would have exited the trade. This is where we took the trade on the 2-minute time frame, and this is where we got out specifically only on the 2-minute time frame. But had you been watching Predicmo on a 5-minute chart, you would have noticed that this was the strongest component of the trade. Look at where the trade faded, right when price hit the inflection point right here. And right when it hit the inflection point, that was this bar right there. You can't get more precise than that. Then what happened, okay? Price came all the way down, crossed the zero line right there, and that was your entry to go short. The predictor was already below the zero line right there. The moment it crossed above the zero line, that would have been this bar right here. That would have been where you would have exited your trade had you only been using the 5-minute time frame. But look at where the swing actually ends. Notice the green line, which represents price. It comes all the way down and it hits the inflection point, which is right smack daddy where I ended up getting out of the trade using PureMo. How is that possible? If that right there doesn't blow your mind, guys, I don't know what will. But this is exactly what precision trading looks like right here. This is the type of confirmation tool that you need in your chart to trade with high conviction on days like today. And listen, guys, if you're on our team, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull your Predicmo chart, all the way from 9:15, mark exactly when the predict line went above zero, show your entry to the long, confirm your trend confirmation on your trend chart, post both screenshots on Discord, or if you like, send them over to me privately on Telegram. I'd be more than happy to be your sounding board and give you some solid feedback, okay? Don't cheat. Don't overthink it. Just show your process. That's the whole point of this, because this is how you develop real conviction in what you do. And for everyone else, what are you waiting for? You're here, you're watching the recap again. Ask yourself, how many times do you need to see us nail these trades before you stop gambling with your money and start using real tools? You could have been long in the morning, short a little bit later in the morning, out before the chop. But instead, you're still guessing, still chasing candles, still wondering, is it the top? Every time price moves. Stop playing small. Grab the 7-day free trial, join our Discord, watch the YouTube recaps, get the tools, ask the questions, see what it feels like to trade with confidence, guys. Because this is what real algorithmic trading looks like right here. This is the type of precision trading that gives you the confidence to execute at the highest level possible. So I'll go ahead and stop it there for just a moment, and I'll take any Q&A that you guys might have. You have the perfect top indicator. It's when I finally buy. Okay, that's awesome, man. You know, maybe this could be a complementary tool to what you're currently using. And you know, a lot of people use them that way too. You know, they've got a preferred system that they've been working with for a while, and it's, hey, cool, right? And they use these tools to refine their approach, you know, and just like you said, you know, you've got a great tool that gives you good indications as to when you're hitting tops, right? You know, but you kind of fumble a little bit right there when you're looking to buy. This might be the tool that you're looking for to give you the confidence to take those signals when they pop on your screen. It's free for 7 days, actually. It's free for 7 days, and all the details are in the link in my bio. You just click the link in my bio, just click on Full Suite. The Full Suite will give you everything. It'll give you Simo Pro, Purimo, Scalpmo, our brand new tool. This is our brand new tool. We just released this about 3 weeks ago called PredictMo. This is a machine learning algorithm. There's nothing like it. There's nothing else like this, guys, that I have seen in the market that is as accurate as this tool. And the name of the YouTube channel is called the Algo Trader Official. Okay. Yeah, okay. I see what you mean. RCK subs. So when you buy, you end up buying at the top of the trend. You know, I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually a very common problem. It's more of a common problem than you can possibly imagine. And a lot of that kind of stems from confirmation bias and a lot of the stuff that people have been taught. You know, you've heard I'm sure you've heard theories in the market that say, okay, well, if price is going up, wait for it to come back, retest, and then take it to the upside, right? Well, what if it never really comes down and retests and it just continues going vertical the way it did today, or it just continues going down, down, down with no retest to the upside, in this case on this short? Then what do? Those theories fall apart. And a lot of times confirmation bias kicks in because, you know, you're looking at this, you're like, oh shit, you know, let me give you a good example. So if I turn back to the 80 bar VWAP, the 80 bar VWAP is sort of like a wall in price. And every time price hits that, it either breaks or it bounces. And right here, boom, it hit the 80 bar VWAP. And look at this, came all the way down right there, recoiled, came up, came up, came up, and it finally just started moving up right there on a very strong move. A lot of people would freeze, they would hesitate, and they wouldn't trade this because of fear of thinking that it might retrace. And if you don't have the 80 bar VWAP, then that confirmation bias kicks in. You're like, is it going to continue or is it going to reverse on me? And that's the reason why we have a process to confirm whether or not the trend has any legs, okay? And anytime momentum goes above the threshold right here, what we do is we come over here to the trend chart and we start confirming whether or not this is the early onset of a trend. And here it was. You had momentum way up high. You had cycle above zero. Definitely had a shift in momentum, and you had a shift here with Scalpmo as well. That right there, ABC, gives you a very solid base to really take this trade to the upside with confidence. Okay, doesn't happen in every swing. That it does not happen in every swing where momentum overshoots the threshold. Sometimes, you know, momentum is just kind of making its turn and coming right back down. But that's the reason we follow a process, and the process seems to be pretty darn accurate from what we been told by our subscribers. But that's one way you can avoid getting in at the top. Here's another way that you can avoid that too. So let's say, and this is really important, this goes back to counting the cycle rotations in price. Normally cycles, okay, and not normally, this always happens in the way market structure is designed. Cycles always precede trends, and they always follow trends as well, which means that you're always going to get some type of cycle rotation before the early onset of a trend. And that's exactly what you have right here. you have sine wave formations with the yellow line following the cyan line, okay? And the moment that momentum goes up right here, you want to begin counting your cycles. So if this is the early onset of a trend right here, and you confirm that on your trend chart, then this is cycle 1 here. And cycle 1 is only 180 degrees. It begins here and ends right here. And if there's only 2 cycles on any given trend rotation, then you certainly want to count cycle number 2, which begins here and ends here. Now, check this out. Let's say you didn't have this tool and you jumped into the trade like right here, thinking that it was going to go up for just like this little kind of puff right there. Or let's say you jumped in even worse over here, thinking that it was going to have continuation because, you know, of something else that you were looking at, okay? This is going to catch you in a trap because at the end of cycle 2, you'll have a rotation right back into cycle territory, okay? So if you saw this on a chart and you were contemplating jumping into the trade here and you were already at the end of cycle 2, you wouldn't do it. You would step aside and say, oh, hell no. I'm already at the end of cycle number 2, and you've got the predictor below 0. This is telling me that price is not going to go up. You see? And this makes a huge difference in being able to stay in the right side of the trade or making sure that you don't get in the wrong side of the trade when the trade is already fizzled out at the end of cycle number 2. Now, in about 35% of the cases, you'll get a third cycle to the upside, and that's typically known in the market as your blow-off top. That only happens in about 35% of the cases. Okay, in most cases, you have 2 cycle rotations, which are 180 degrees, cycle 1, cycle 2. You can tell right here by the cyan line going above 0, and the moment it crosses, that's the end. And that is really right there, guys. The top of the candle. You cannot get more precise than that when you trade. Okay. So Cheech and Chong, I love that name. Cheech and Chong's asking, teach me how to pump and dump. Oh man, that's hilarious. I love your screen name. Yeah, no, but we don't teach we don't teach people how to pump and dump right here, man. We teach people a systematic approach that will help you follow a process that's not emotionally based or subjective to really give you the statistical edge that you need to win in the market. That's what we do here. And by the way, guys, for you guys who are new, just want to take a moment to say thank you. I really do appreciate you taking a moment to watch. Please do like the video. It helps. And click the notification bell. I'm on here every day, Monday through Thursday at 5:30 Eastern Time, doing these recaps, okay? And we do them because this is kind of like our trader's huddle. This is where you learn how to use the tools. This is where we provide insight. This is where we provide clarity so that you can have the confidence to execute at the highest level the next day. You know how I told you guys yesterday, anytime the predictor's above 0 right here, you're going to have a pop in the market. Well, we saw that in yesterday's session. This was just deja vu right here. We had the same thing happen again. Sure enough, price ripped to the upside. The difference between yesterday and today is that we had a trend right out of the gate at 938 right here that got confirmed on the trend chart, and price continued moving up, okay? But the same process that we used yesterday, we use today, except today we confirmed the trend component of price. Yesterday, I think, was a little bit more cyclic. And of course, you can't forget this bad boy right here, which is your 5-minute, okay? And just in case our members who are looking at this now are wondering, I've got the predictor set at 30 to really capture the full swing in price right here. And it really does a fabulous job capturing the entire swing from here all the way to here and all the way to the bottom right here where I took the trade off. So if you want to replicate that on your charts, fantastic. So for anyone who's got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment box. I'm looking at the comments and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions now. Is this Thinkorswim or TradingView? No, this is NinjaTrader. Yeah, Thinkorswim uses ThinkScript. TradingView uses PineScript. I use C# for NinjaTrader and coding these indicators. So they're exclusive to the NinjaTrader ecosystem. And by the way, guys, I am an exclusive vendor on the NinjaTrader platform, and I am the developer of these tools as well. So you can confidently just click the link in my bio and take these bad boys for a 7-day test drive. We have exceptional support to help you guys through the process of this. Not only are you getting a full suite of really robust indicators that were designed for today's market, but you're getting access to our Discord. You're getting access to the Dr. Freud sessions as well within our Discord, which have proven to be invaluable to a lot of traders who have talked to Dr. Freud. And you get 2 free one-on-one sessions as well to help you get fully dialed in. We're just not, we just don't want you to grab the tools and try to figure things out on your own. The one-on-one sessions are absolutely free because we want to get you dialed in as quick as possible. I know that your approach to trading and my approach and the next trader down the road is completely different. We get that. And so the one-on-one sessions are specifically designed to tailor these tools to your specific approach to trading. So whether you're a scalper, whether you're a swing trader, we walk you through the one-on-one and we set up the charts exclusively with the right tool so that you're not looking at 4 or 5 different things and getting confused on your own. We don't want that. We want you guys to have absolute clarity in what you do, and that's the reason we do the one-on-one sessions with you. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comment box, guys. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. And look, not everyone made money today. Some of you got caught long at the top. Some of you shorted too early. Some of you sat out the whole thing, afraid to pull the trigger, and that's okay. But you can't keep that happening. If you're struggling to find consistency, if you're tired of staring at the screen with no plan, guys, if you keep letting fear and hesitation ruin your trades, then today's your wake-up call. You don't need more indicators. You need better ones. And you don't need more trades. You need smarter ones. And you don't need to do this alone. You need a team. So make the move. Sign up now. Use the trial. Plug into our community. Let's turn the corner together, guys, because this is how you make progress. Half the year is already over. So I got a question here. Do I trade indices or individual names? Well, on NinjaTrader, you're only allowed to trade the indices. It's a futures trading platform. So you can't, now for example, trade Tesla or Disney or any of the other common stocks. You'd have to trade the indices, whether it's the micros or the E-minis or anything else that might be offered on NinjaTrader. NinjaTrader's got a huge menu of products you can trade. You can trade metals, agricultures, crypto, the indices, just a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, except common stock, that is, right? So if you guys have any questions about what you saw today, the process, the tools, anything, just feel free to ask. I'm here to help you guys, okay? Here to answer any questions. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask, so feel free to ask. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. You were afraid to enter when the market opened. All the indicators were telling me it was going up. That's common, man. And I get it. I normally wait, for the first 15 minutes of the market to have it shake out before I take any trades in my own account. And I like to see where the market's really going to go before I pull the trigger. So that's normal, and that's okay. You don't have to jump in at the open. In fact, the opening bar is probably one of the worst bars to trade, just simply because the slippage is so high that you're going to end up getting a bad fill, and you're going to end up getting stopped out on the retrace intra bar, and that's never a good feeling because it sets a bad tone for the rest of the day, right? So and for that reason, I try to wait at least the first few bars, at least the first 15 minutes before I jump in. Yeah, man, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being on here. Yeehaw, guys, it's super hot in my office. AC guy should be here any moment. Did a late afternoon. He actually rescheduled. He was supposed to be here at noontime. Now he's going to be here at 6 o'clock. Pretty soon, I think. These charts, by the way, will be available up on our Discord and the charts recap channel. The videos will be made available on our YouTube as well as on our Discord. You guys can audit them. You guys could review them. You guys can compare them to any other tools that you're currently using out there in the market. Do any of the members trade with Renko bars? That's a good one right there. There's one guy that I think does trade with Renko bars. But Renko bars are not time-based bars. So they're really hard to calibrate, and they kind of really smooth out the price spectrum in a way that it takes a special approach to trade Renko bars. Let me just say it that. And I know the one guy that was doing it had been doing it for a very, very, very long time. And I don't know if he's still doing it. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Otherwise, I'd tell you. But I know he's probably the only one that I think was trading Renko bars. So Miles says, I missed the early trend because Pirmo and Scalpmo were above 90. I thought, you know what? And it's okay, man. And it's okay because what you saw there was actually right, okay? And normally when that happens, because we have seen this happen time and again in previous sessions, remember? And let me go ahead and go right back to that chart so we can see exactly what Miles is talking about right there. Normally, we have seen this play out many, 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 many times, okay? Many times. Right out of the gate, where you see this setup right here. You see Simo, everything's good here, and you see Pirmo go all the way up here. You see this go all the way up here, only just to see it like 2 bars later tilt down. You've seen that. I've seen it. And so, yes, not only that, you hit the 80 bar VWAP right there, which for me, I'd be looking at it the same way you were too, man. I'd be looking at it, looking at this going like, wow, is this going to fizzle right here or what's going to happen? The one tool that can kind of give you a broader perspective on the strength of the move, if this ever happens and you're wondering, and you're left wondering whether this is going to be continuation or not, is right here. Let me show you. That's the beauty of the 5-minute chart right there. Okay. And if you've got Scalpmo on it, that's awesome. Let me go ahead and put Scalpmo on here. Show you the difference right there. Right there. Okay. This is the difference right here between Scalpmo and Predictmo. And they're both at a setting of 4. Well, this one's at a setting of 14. This is at a setting of 30 right there. It's got a little bit more give to it right there. So if you're looking at this right there, you're going to see this. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's all the way down here. This bad boy's here. It's going to pull it up. And it's going to pull it up all the way until price hits the inflection point right there. You see that? And that inflection point is this bar right there. So that's the only way that you're going to see whether or not there's strength to this move all the way up right there. Okay. You can also try using Predictmo And the moment that you see the crossing right there, and same thing, you're going to see the price fade over here. You can see that. That'll kind of give you an indication. But putting that aside, I'd be also concerned if I saw, if I saw, what do you call it, Pirmo and these bad boys right there. Okay, I'd be looking at that going like, I need confirmation on my higher time frame that this is really going to take off. And that's how I would look at that if I were trading that myself. Right here, you had a good confirmation to the trend. You also had Predicmo going up on the cycle chart, and this told you that price was going to continue up. And notice how the predictor stays above the zero line, and it actually crosses the zero line right there, which is pretty much at this bar right there. 2 bars before price just kind of flops. So it's another way to look at it right there as well. But if ever in doubt, especially on these type of setups right here, because I've seen this a lot in previous sessions, and we've had these sessions over and over again the last few months where it almost seems like price is going to drop or run, and this bad boy just kind of fizzles out a few bars later. Look at the higher time frame. That'll kind of give you the clue right there as to the strength of the move. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to stick around for another 5 minutes. I think the AC guys should be coming here pretty soon because it is hot. I'm looking at the thermometer. It's 86 in my desk, and I am like super hot right now. Hope this guy comes soon so he can go check out my AC, and I can have a nice, cool office. Miles, I'm curious to ask, did you capture any of the downside portion of the trend right here, this downside move after the initial rip in the morning? Same question for you too, Natasha. Did either of you capture this downside move from inception all the way to the end? You caught the downtrend. Oh, well, congratulations. Congrats. Absolutely. Yeah. This was a really, really good textbook trade to the downside. By the way, I'd love to see your chart on that. Just mark it up with some arrows and shoot it over to me via the Telegram. I'd love to see where you entered and got out. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Yeah, today was one of these textbook days that if you followed the process, nailed it right there. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the follows. You guys know trading's a lonely sport, so I try to come on here every afternoon at 5:30 to kind of liven it up, break it down, go over the plays, see what worked, what didn't work, kind of highlight the moves to sharpen you up and get you prepared for the next day. Because something that you learned today, I can almost guarantee you can apply for the next opportunity that you see pop up on your charts in the next session. And that's how we do it. All right, I'm going to stick around for like 2 more minutes, guys, and then I'm going to blow because I think my AC guy's about to get here. But if you've got any other questions, just drop them in the comment box. I'd be happy to hear your thoughts, your opinions. Alrighty, guys, I've got about 1 more minute, and then I'm gonna blow out. I've had a pretty long day here at the trade desk, and it's been a good day so far, all the way around. See, I got a question here. I have a live TradeOvet account. Can I use your? Yes, you can. In fact, we have a tutorial inside our Discord for our members that walks you through the exact process on how to integrate your TradeOvet account with NinjaTrader, and then you can use these tools through NinjaTrader. So yeah, we have a video that shows you how to do that, and you'll be all set up. We have a few people. We have quite a few people that use TradeOvet and also use these tools through NinjaTrader. Guys, if you have a funded account, or if you're aiming to get a funded account with a prop firm, these are the tools you need in your arsenal. These are the tools that are going to help you get funded, especially on days like today when the market actually moves with conviction. We had two huge moves today, one to the upside, one to the downside right there immediately after. I mean, this was a perfect opportunity, guys, to be using these tools to try to get your funded accounts. Yeah, we've got a nice community of traders who have prop firm accounts at various different prop firms, and these are the tools they're using right here to get funded. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this bad boy back. I'll just leave it right here, and I'll post these screenshots in the Discord as well. All right, guys, it is hot in my office, and I think the AC guy should be here like any moment right now. So I'm gonna cut off and go check up on him and see if he's on his way right now. In the meantime, thanks again for being an awesome crowd. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 5:30 Eastern, so we can make it happen and see exactly how the market shook up then, okay, for all the post-game recaps. Thanks again, guys, for being an awesome crowd, and I'll catch up with you then. Happy trading.